There's something about it, that's why you always left behind.
The first track on the EP, The Middle, was like an old. We've been playing it for like ages and ages now, and it's sort of like the first song that we've ever been able to like write that goes on for like 8 minutes. If you get me, because like normally we're writing for like singles, you know, oh we've got to get on the radio, you know, we've got to get on the radio. But because we've done the EP, it's really good to be able to just like go, oh, let's give Connor like a guitar solo or an instrumental part or whatever. Yeah, and so like that was just the first time we've ever been able to do something like that. So when we used to play it live, like I say, like a lot of the time, and it was always our intro track live. So for an intro track on the record, you know, really like fitted just perfectly, you know. So. So Uptown was like, we like had like a patch where like we just wrote like songs that weren't like, they were just very samey and everything like that. Like they were really like long and like samey, and we were sort of like, oh, we need like a real like a good song, you know. And Luke wrote that one actually, the bass player, and he basically just said to me like, oh, you know, I've written this song, you know, because Connor writes a lot of our songs, like he writes a beat and a bass line and the chords and things like that, and then Luke and me and Luke sort of like compete on who can write the best lyrics or whatever over the song. So Uptown was one of the first songs that we wrote. It was, well, to be honest, it was the first song that we wrote that made us want to go, right, let's do an EP, because we've got the songs to be able to do it. So Uptown was like special really, because it was one of the first ones that Luke mainly, you know, wrote the whole thing and everything like that. And it was the first time that we sort of said like, you know, Luke's like really good songwriter, you know, like, and I think he's like amazing, you know. So it's just about like the song in itself is just about like going out and stuff like that. But like it's sort of like, I know like Arctic Monkey's first album and whatever is like entirely on going out and like enjoying going out, but Uptown is about like not enjoying it and sort of being like, what are we doing? Like I'm just going out every weekend, like wasting my weekends and stuff like that. So it was just like the first time, like I say, that Luke got his chance to like get into one of the songs, and you know, I think that song for me is like probably the best song we've ever written. So like, you know, from now on, it's sort of like, yeah, Luke's the main songwriter. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause he writes the good ones.
Nice.
Moonlight was it's a really old song that we used to play. It was like a song that we used to play in our live set. It was sort of like the middle point of every set that we needed like a instrumentally long, jammy sort of song. And funnily enough, it actually literally, I'm not even joking, like a few days before we like decided upon the track list for the EP, we were literally like, I'm not putting it on, like it's not, you know, we're not happy with it and whatever, like I don't like the song. And then it's funny actually, because when we released the EP, the first song that everyone said, oh, I like that one, was Power Moonlight, and we were like, what? Like, it's funny because like sometimes you think you're right in the choice of songs and, you know, how you write songs and things like that. But then sometimes you just got to give it to people and they've sort of got to go, no, I like this, you know, I think this one's good. And it's been good because I personally, I never used to like it either. And then now, since people have been going, you know, I really enjoy listening to it, I've sort of put it on and I've gone, oh, actually, you know, it's a good song, you know.
Weigh me down, I'm stuck in my ways. Will my life go to waste, or will I change up the pace?
So, Weigh Me Down, it's just about like, it's just about, we wrote it after like, we weren't getting any bigger, and we were just sort of like playing the same sort of venues, like 100 capacity sort of venues, and we just weren't finding that we were getting any bigger and like, you know, getting where we want to be as like the band. And the song was just me, like I was just annoyed and like saying like, you know, like we're good sort of thing. If you read the lyrics and whatever, it's just me like bigging this up really. And like, well, it's sort of like, it's like saying that like I need to keep on and like believe in myself and stuff like that and give myself like, so like, and that was another song that was like, it took us ages and ages and ages to write, because like we were never like happy with the way it sounded and stuff like that. And then the end outcome on the record is, you know, we're really happy with it, you know. So.
Young blue forever.
So Young Blood is a song that we wrote a while ago as well, and we've been playing it a lot. We've been playing it like all, you know, it was one of our staples in our set. But when we first recorded it, it was a demo that was on Spotify. We've now taken it off, but it was just acoustic. But when I first wrote it, in my head, I always had this like big, grandiose like ending, like a Nirvana sort of sounding, which is like for us, it's quite weird because we sound like, you know, like dance music-y, indie sort of thing. Whereas like I really wanted to go like heavy and sort of like explore that side of the band. So when we were in the studio, obviously it was acoustic before, and I had this idea to like make it acoustic, and then like at the very end kick into this big, huge chorus. Because I felt like I say, before when we recorded it, it just never like got, because the meaning of the song is like, when I was younger, my nan like suffered really bad with Alzheimer's and things like that, and one day like I don't know what came out, something on the telly maybe or something like that, but she basically just spoke to me, and I was saying like, oh, you know when you dream, like we were just talking about dreams, and she was saying, oh, when I dream, like I'm still a young person, like, and it's just about like that, saying like, you know, when she dreams, she's still like a young person, whereas like, you know, like she might be 90 or whatever and have Alzheimer's and not be able to do, you know, like get out of her bed or whatever. But like for me, like it's just one of these songs that just like, you know, that was in my head, and I just came and wrote it, and then like I played it to Luke, and I said, you know, I've got this song, and he was like, mate, that is like incredible, you know, that's such a good story, you know, for a song or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. So me personally, I really hate like opening up sometimes, you know what I mean? Whereas on that song, it's like raw, you know, that's the way it is. And on the final version on the record, I think you can really feel like the power in everything. Like after so many years that we've been playing it acoustic, in the end we finally got to the point where I wanted it, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just really special.